I did not just watch this 1 hour special one time. I didn't watch it just 2 times. I watched it 3 times. Because it was that good. Goku versus Jiren is probably one of the greatest moments I have gotten out of anime for 2017. No joke. It's my opinion, but it is probably one of the greatest moments. Something that truly stood out to me when I was watching this 1 hour special. And I gotta say right now that in terms of quality, this is probably the highest of quality we have seen Dragon Ball Super. It's the highest it's ever been. It was a godlike episode. It was, or godlike 1 hour special. It was truly amazing. I want to say right now that my hype is through the roof. The episode, in terms of just everything, the build up and everything, it was worth it. So before I go any further and talk about the episode and tell you guys my thoughts on it, I want to ask, after everything, after how this 1 hour special has been built up for a while now, and then Goku versus Jiren has been built up for a while now, I gotta ask, what's everybody's thoughts on how this special turned out this night? I mean, I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see how all the fans feel about this fight. I mean, please let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. I mean, how you felt about, this fight. Was the hype and the build-up for this worth it after everything we got? Was it actually worth it? Just let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. Regardless of how you feel, I would like to actually know how you feel about it. Anyways, though, this special, like I said, it stood out. It was one of the greatest moments. I think in terms of just enjoyment and hype, it was probably one of the greatest moments of 2017. For me, personally. At least when it comes to anime. It was that fun. And I felt like I was watching Dragon Ball Z. I felt like I was watching Goku transform for the first time against Frieza. And it was an episode that made me feel like I was a kid again. That's exactly what it made me feel like when I was watching this. It made me feel like I was sitting down on the couch back in 2003 watching Dragon Ball Z on VHS. That's exactly what this reminded me of. When I was just sitting down watching the episodes, I was like, this is just so good. It is so good. I feel like the inner child is just being drawn out of me when I was watching this. So I'm just going to say, getting the smaller stuff out of the way for this 1 hour special, the Rebrane, or however you pronounce her name, I don't even really care much for her. Let's be real here, none of us really care much about her at all. We really just wanted to see the Goku versus Jiren fight, so when she just got knocked out of the way, honestly, it was really good, because less screen time for her, more screen time for what we really care about. So she got knocked out pretty quick when it came to the screen time of these, 2 episodes that came out. I was very pleased with that, so yeah, but to be honest with you, I don't really care much about what was going on there, but also, I'm glad that when it came to these 2 episodes, which equivalent to 40 minutes long, was actually entirely focused basically on Goku versus Jiren. It wasn't like filler scenes here and there. It was mainly just focusing on the fight, which was just truly good. It was something that I was really excited for, and it was something I was also worried about, because when it comes to anything made, like, especially, not just Dragon Ball, but any series that's hyped up for a while, usually a lot of shows, they like to hype something up, and it's, like, maybe only for 3 or 4 minutes long, and it's not really gonna last, like, a full hour long. Like, when a 1 hour's built up or something, like, hey, there's gonna be an extra length episode or whatever, and this is built up for a while, or whatever, weeks or months, and then when it finally happens, and, like, there's a certain scene that we've been hyped up to actually see, it's only for, like, a couple minutes out of the entirety of the hour-long special, and you're like, this is messed up. Like, this is not what I wanted. And so I was really happy to see that the entirety of this extra length episode was focused on the fight. It was entirely focused on Goku vs. Jiren, and that's what made me truly appreciate this episode. There was no lies whatsoever when it came to the promotion of this special. Now, let's talk about some of the greatest things about this. One of the big things that I think everybody's going to be talking about right now is Goku's new form. It's the first thing that just completely stands out, because the new form is absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. It's like it's some quality. Like, the quality of the art was just something else. Like, it was movie quality. I'm not even gonna joke. Like, the art quality and animation of these 2 episodes was movie level. At least when it comes to Dragon Ball standards, it was definitely movie level. It was really, really, really good. And I don't think any of us can actually say it looked bad. If you do, you obviously need to put some glasses on. Let's just be real here. You have to put some glasses on, because if this episode looked bad to you, put on them glasses, because it was a quality episode. And I have to say, out of everything I've seen in recent months, it's probably the best I've actually seen in terms of the way the episode was done, which makes a lot of sense, since, Dragon Ball, it prints money. So obviously, because of the money, but also how the production team has been hyping this up for a while, they probably put a lot more time and effort into this, got the best people they possibly could to focus on this episode, which makes a lot of sense, because this is something that's, like I said, been built up for months now. It's, been hinted at in the opening and all that. We got to see a glimpse of it when Goku fighting Jiren in the opening. So with all of this build up for such a long time, obviously we would want it to look really good, and so I'm glad Toei Animation was able to deliver on that, and they didn't disappoint us whatsoever. It was truly a spectacular episode this week. So, getting into the transformation though, Goku's form, besides just beauty, like just it being absolutely beautiful, the new form is wanted, or welcomed, actually. I really like the new form. It was expected that Goku would eventually get a new form. I mean, it was common sense. I mean, this is Dragon Ball. I mean, Goku needs to get a new transformation. It's common sense. That's what happens in this series. So, it wasn't actually unexpected that Goku would get a new form. But, however, the design of it, I gotta say, it's probably the best design I have seen Goku ever have. Like, don't get me wrong, I actually have grown quite fond of Super Saiyan Blue. I like the style of it. And honestly, I actually like Super Saiyan Blue than the original Super Saiyan. I mean, many might, criticize me for that, but I actually really like Super Saiyan Blue. Now, personally, I know many might not like what I'm about to say, but I actually like Super Saiyan Rose over Super Saiyan Blue. I really love the design of Goku Black with Super Saiyan Rose, but that's never going to happen for Goku, obviously. Anyways, though, I really like the new form Goku has. It's definitely something that stands out amongst everything that he's ever had. It's definitely a form that stands out. It just design-wise, to the way it's done and all that, it's just a beautiful form. And I really hope this is not the last time we are going to see this type of form, especially the aura just coming around Goku. I cannot wait to see that once again, because it was just so, so beautiful. So, I know I'm getting back into the topic of just design-wise, it's just so beautiful, but I just can't stop. It was just that good. It looks so good. It looked amazing. So, power-wise, let's talk about that. Actually, let's back up. Let's talk about how Goku even got this in the first place, okay? Let's start from the beginning of the fight, and then I'll work to that, okay? I think that would be a proper way to get into the events of this episode. So, to start off, the first part of the episode, it has Goku starting off fighting Jiren in his base form, which is his typical Goku. And, Krillin intervenes and explains what's going on here. He's testing, his might against Jiren and seeing if he's a worthy opponent or whatever. And then he's slowly upping the level of his strength to see if he can actually challenge him. And I like the way that was showcased, just to show how strong Jiren was, but also to show how Goku's power multiplied by each form he used. Like, he showed Super Saiyan. When he started off his base form, he just starts attacking, and then he uses, the Kamehameha, and you just see Jiren's energy just expanding, and it literally just, the Kameo Wave goes all the way around Jiren's energy, and it just doesn't even affect him. Like, it can't even touch this man. That's how powerful he is. So Goku's base form can't do anything to Jiren. Then we see Goku go to Super Saiyan. He goes in, he starts to punch him a little bit and all that. Jiren's not even phased. He's just like, he's face-taking. He's like, what? I don't even feel this. Then Goku goes Super Saiyan 2. You see the electric and all that pop up. He starts punching him and all that, and you see his neck barely move. Like, Jiren's neck barely moves. He got to budge him just a little bit, but it still wasn't anything to really do any damage whatsoever. Then Goku goes, Super Saiyan God. And when you see Super Saiyan God, Jiren just starts using his finger and all that, blocking it. Then he goes into Super Saiyan Blue. I just love how the power just jumped one by one, showing how strong the forms were and what Jiren had to do to block against them, or how he would react to these forms. It was just unbelievable. And I mean, when you see Goku go Super Saiyan Blue and Jiren is just throwing Goku around like he's a ragdoll and all that, and then Goku goes Super Saiyan, Blue with Kaioken times 20, you're like, this is just unbelievable. This man is not taking any damage. He's not even breaking a sweat. It's obvious by the way he's fighting. He is nowhere near his max level of power. He's not even going all in. It's very obvious from the way he was displaying himself while fighting Goku. He was not trying. He wasn't breaking a sweat. He wasn't scared. scared. He was shocked in some moments because of Goku's increase in speed, but overall, he wasn't scared. He didn't feel like he was going to lose at all. That's just how powerful he really was. So just seeing Goku crank it up more and more as the fight continued on, it was just crazy to see how this man was able to face tank so much. Now, granted, I think all of us by now, when we entered this episode, we knew Goku was going to get a new transformation. It was just common sense because of all the trailers, promotions, and stuff and all that, people talking about it. You probably already knew Goku was going to get a new transformation. So it was to be expected Goku would get his transformation. The question is, what would trigger it? How would he get that form? So what leads into that is Goku using his trump card, the Spirit Bomb. Now, in most cases, the Spirit Bomb would not work like this because majority of the enemies that Goku's going to use the Spirit Bomb against, they're not going to want him to power that up because, you know, they're going to try to kill the man. And so Goku never usually can actually fire the Spirit Bomb. I mean, let's think about the situation with Kid Buu. That was a very rough situation to gain the energy to bring that man down. And when Goku finally got the energy and all that, he didn't barely have the stamina, and Kid Buu was fighting him back, pushing it back and all that, and Goku got his stamina restored, and when he took out Kid Buu. But his Spirit Bomb has been shown to be very powerful. I mean, it's been used quite a few times throughout the series, and so we know it's not a weak technique whatsoever, and it can be a powerful technique that can wipe out probably almost any opponent depending on how much you really want to charge it. And in this case, the biggest flaw of this technique is just its charge time, and it was very surprising. Actually, no, not in a way, it actually wasn't surprising when you think about it. Jiren's like, you know, this is your trump card, charge it, I will not attack you. I thought that was really cool, because Jiren, since he was someone that was challenging Goku and all that, and he took an interest in Goku, it would make sense that he would want Goku to go all in. He wants to see Goku's pinnacle, how far he can really go, and he wants to challenge it to see if he can fight. So in a way, he's very similar to Goku. Goku is the type of person that would allow someone to power up and use their ultimate technique, and then he would face it head on to see if he can actually beat it. And there was a very similar thing there going on with Jiren. I saw a lot of similarities there between Goku and Jiren when it came to them challenging opponents' abilities and stuff and letting them do what they need to do. And so when Goku got the power to fire at Jiren, I don't think the power of it is probably necessarily the same level it was at the end of the Kid Buu saga. I don't think so. I mean, Frieza's power is in it. But at the same time, all of planet Earth and a few other planets and stuff gave energy to the Spirit Bomb that took down Kid Buu. So I wouldn't necessarily say the Spirit Bomb is at the level of that one. But it's still a powerful Spirit Bomb. And in this case, Goku as well, he has increased his base form, he's increased his level of power and all of that, so technically he's nowhere near what he was when he fired the Spirit Bomb against Kid Buu. So if he had a Spirit Bomb the size of Kid Buu, that when he was fighting and all that, and he sent it at Jiren, it probably would have been a lot better. It probably would have been even crazier than what we saw, but even still though, Goku firing that was probably way more powerful than what happened against Kid Buu because of his new increased strength, how he can use Super Saiyan Blue. And when he uses Super Saiyan Blue to kind of force it at Jiren, that's what truly blew me away. It just really showed how strong he was as a person, because it was ridiculous when we saw Kid Buu. When he grabbed the Spirit Bomb and he was pushing and all that at the end of Dragon Ball Z, it was just unheard of. This man, he's absolute pure evil, and he's pushing the Spirit Bomb and all that and then sending it back at Goku. It was just ridiculous. It just showed how powerful he really was. But this right here, what we see Jiren doing, it's just insane, because when Goku sends it at Jiren, he just holds up a hand. He just holds his hand up and he's pushing it back towards Goku. Goku has to power up and all that, send more force, and then he puts two hands up, and then Goku's losing it again. Goku has to push it even more, and then Jiren just forces it, and eventually he just puts his hands down and all that, and he just looks at it, and his energy knocks it back. That is just insane. The level of Jiren's power is insane to be able to do something like that, just to stand there and then push the Spirit Bomb back. Now, this is probably one of the most fascinating moments of the episode, because when it comes to Ki Blast, this is something that has been shown to this level, somewhat to this level. It's been shown once before. The Cell versus Kid Gohan fight. I think everybody can agree, when it comes to Ki Blast, one of the big moments of Ki Blast that really stand out to anyone when it comes to Dragon Ball, or Dragon Ball Z, or whatever, is probably either the Spirit Bomb fight with Kid Buu and Goku, or the Cell and Gohan fight with the Kameo Waves, or Vegeta's Final Flash. That's usually the blast that always pop up, many people are reminded of. Or if it's not that, it's the Final Atonement with Vegeta blowing himself up. But the main Ki Blast struggles we think of, like Struggles and all that, those are the main ones people like to remember, besides the classic nostalgia of Goku versus Vegeta. But the big ones, though, is Cell and Gohan. And that's probably the biggest Ki Wave Blast, battle back and forth that we have ever seen. We saw when, Gohan and Cell were fighting and all that, sending both their energies at each other, that the Ki was just so weird looking and all that, and it was literally just cracking and going into the planet, and there was a possibility the planet might just get shattered because of how powerful and how much energy was being inserted into, the Kameo Wave. So when you look at stuff like that, it makes you wonder, like, what would have happened if they would have continued to pump more energy into that? It was a question I used to think about a lot when I was a kid. When I saw that energy blast, I was wondering how much energy could they really pump into that until things went boom. Because there has to be a limit. There has to eventually be a limit to where it can't go any further. And it looks like, Dragon Ball tried to add something like that in. Since both of these two had such massive energy, and they were compressing the Spirit Bomb down, pushing it with their absurd amount of force, they condensed the Spirit Bomb down and made it turn into like a mini black hole. It's like just blew up and sucked everything in, and Goku, what I'm assuming, got sucked in by. Now, I could be wrong here about these details. I can be completely wrong about those details, but basically, from what I'm assuming, Goku was hit by the explosion, but it looked like a black hole form, and he got absorbed in it, and then he came out, and all that later on, or he was under the rubble. One or the other happened, but regardless, though, it looked like a black hole when the Spirit Bomb blew up, which was just holy crap. So we now got confirmation that if a Ki Blast goes for so long, and there's just immense amount of force being pushed against each other, it does turn into a black hole. So I find that very cool. I personally find that very cool, because it was a question I've always wanted to answer when I saw the Gohan and Cell fight, and just to see something like that, I was like, man, just imagine if they probably would have continued going. Could they have done something? Like, something crazy like that could have happened. I don't know. It just really makes you wonder. Anyways, though, the Spirit Bomb blew up, and Goku got his transformation. Now, it's clarified that Goku, when the Spirit Bomb blew up, it replaced his depleted stamina. For instance, it fixed it and gave him temporary, energy to be able to continue to function in fight, because he used everything to push the Spirit Bomb towards Jiren. He used, Kaioken and everything, and basically, he used everything he could, it drained him completely, and when the Spirit Bomb, blew up in his face, he absorbed all the energy. But in turn, when Goku was resisting the Spirit Bomb to not kill him, it actually awakened and broke this, like, shell within him, which was his limit, and he awakened something that, he had. It was his hidden potential, and he woke it up. That's basically what happened. He was resisting so hard against the Spirit Bomb that it broke that shell that was in him. He broke his very limit, which this fits completely in line with what type of character Goku is. He's always someone that breaks his limits, and that's exactly what happened. He broke a limit, and then he unlocked this power. So, looking at the power in general, it's called Ultra Instinct, if I'm correct, if I remember the title right, but basically, this new technique, whatever it may be, it's been foreshadowed. It did not come out of nowhere. And so, this is something I want to clarify. If you think that this new transformation that Goku had is out of nowhere, actually, you're mistaken. You're very mistaken, because this has already been previously established since the Resurrection of Frieza arc. Like in the movie, to the, the arc and all that, this was already established. And let me kind of give a clarification if you don't remember. Basically, Whis has tried to teach Goku, Vegeta, and even Beerus how to be able to focus, but also be calm, and be able to dodge anything in, like, without thinking whatsoever. And Goku's tried to train at this, Vegeta's tried to do it, and Beerus is somewhat of a master at it, but he hasn't perfected it completely. And we know a bunch of gods can't even perfect this at all as well. So we know for a fact that to learn 100% mastery of this means that you could be possibly stronger than a god of destruction, because from what we understand is, not even gods themselves know how to master this. So, Goku, he unlocked 100% Ultra Instinct. He unlocked it to where he could dodge anything. He literally was actually moving without thinking. All of his body parts were moving without thinking. He didn't need to do anything. It was just doing anything without him really concentrating on it. It's just, he was at a new level, a new height, basically. And when you see him getting attacked a lot, when you see, like, the ki blast coming in and all that, you see how he dodges. Like, he just walks and all that, and he's just dodging, weaving his head, and eventually when one blast is coming, he just hits it. Like, it was so quick. It's like he did a little slap and all that. It shows that he was aware of what was going on around him, but he didn't even need to pay attention to it. And that's what was crazy about it. And it's obvious that this entire power-up is a reference to what was set up in the Resurrection of Frieza arc. It's been popped up time and time again, and also, you know, how Goku doesn't pay attention or whatever. And so here you go. This is exactly what this has, you know, been doing. And for instance, all of that has been foreshadowing and build up for this very moment, for this transformation. Now, Goku obtaining it, like I said, the reason why he obtained it was because he was resisted against the Spirit Bomb so hard, and he had such great force trying to resist it with its great strength, that it caused it to where he broke his shell, and he, you know, accessed this ability temporarily. That's what happened. So, depending on how you view it, many might disagree with it, but it has been built up for a while. So, yeah, the gods of destruction are actually scared of this. So, in theory, if you want to take it a step further, you could say in that form, Goku might have been able to defeat a god of destruction. Now, you could speculate that it's still probably not possible, because Goku still couldn't take out Jiren. He still didn't take him out necessarily in this episode, so you could say that maybe he probably couldn't touch a god of destruction. But from what is established is that Jiren is possibly even stronger than a god of destruction, so that's what's scary about this. Regardless, though, Goku most likely, he's probably near the level of a god, but he probably cannot defeat them at the moment, because he doesn't have 100% mastery over this new form. Since he just obtained it, it doesn't seem like he has mastery completely over it, and so that's probably what Jiren was talking about, like, you know, your heat isn't perfect or whatever, this is the limit of your heat. Basically, I think he's referencing the fact that his form, it's not perfect, it's a new form, and he doesn't really know what to do with it whatsoever, and so that right there will show that there's another step further, or like another step past what Goku just achieved in this episode. So I find that really cool. I find it really cool that, you know, Goku, in turn, even though he got this new form, he didn't automatically win. Jiren is still very powerful. And it also shows that Goku can't just defeat Beerus yet. Even though he has mastery of it, if he was to get a little bit stronger, he probably could be a very hard challenge to take out against the God of Destruction if they were trying to fight him, because he would be able to dodge or whatever and be very fast. So I really would wonder what would have happened if Goku was to face a God of Destruction with that form. That's what I'm really curious about. Anyways, though, Goku's fights, okay, just talking about, like, the details of it, the fight is absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely breathtaking. It is beautiful beyond repair. Like, it is so good when you see Goku going so fast, like, it looks like his character isn't even moving. Like, I especially love when Goku goes in up against Jiren at the first moment, and he moves so fast. Like, you see the way the screen moves and it zooms in and all that. He goes so fast, and the emphasis on how fast he went, it was just crazy how the animation was done to emphasize how fast he was moving. And then those scenes where he was punching, but his body was standing still. That was what was really cool, just to show that he was going so fast that it looked like he wasn't moving, but he actually was. And that was what was scary about it. So, I love the fight. It was clearly one of the best fights of 2017. I highly doubt anything's probably going to beat this fight. I truly doubt anything's going to beat this fight for this year of anime. I truly doubt it. So, I want to end it there. Actually, whoa, I got one more thing to talk about. Let's talk about Frieza for a second. So, Frieza, I had a few laughs of Frieza this episode. I like when the Spirit Bomb's used, and Frieza's like, oh my, like, this brings back mad memories. I couldn't help but laugh, because it's so true. I mean, when Frieza saw the Spirit Bomb, he didn't really know, and he got messed up. Like, he got really messed up by the Spirit Bomb. Like, it really messed him up completely. And so, when he says it brings back bad memories, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, why Frieza would have bad memories is because of that. That also led to the transformation in Goku getting into Super Saiyan. And then at the end of the episode, Frieza takes Goku off by himself, and you see a ki blast being aimed at him. Now, many might speculate and assume that Frieza's trying to kill Goku. That's just the obvious thing that many would think of, and that's, you know, obvious, because Frieza doesn't like Goku, wants to kill Goku. But I believe that we're all thinking incorrectly. We're not thinking outside of the box here. Obviously, Frieza doesn't like Goku, but at the same time, Frieza knows that Goku is a good fighter. And Frieza obviously knows that if he wants to win and use the gods, then he's going to need to use Goku. And he knows how to use Goku. He knows Goku's weakness. And he knows Goku would also keep his promise in a way, especially to bring him back if they win. So I don't think Frieza is going to kill Goku. Truthfully, what I believe he's going to do is give Goku energy. And let me explain why. He's like, this reminds me a lot of Namek. He tells that to Goku right at the end of the episode. And let's think about something. Let's think about the situation and the way this looks, okay? At the end of the Namek saga, when Frieza was defeated by Goku, he got cut in half and all that, Frieza was on the ground basically begging for mercy. Goku decided to give his energy to Frieza for he could live, for he can move on and do whatever he needs to do. Goku took pity on Frieza. In turn, Frieza turned against him and then attacked Goku with his own energy, which was messed up, but it just showed what type of person Frieza was. He was completely irredeemable, and he was not someone that would ever accept anything from Goku. But in this case, though, Frieza might give Goku energy, because Goku is in a very similar state. He's on the ground, he has no energy, he can't do anything, he can't move, just like how Frieza was on Namek. And that could be what Frieza's doing, giving him energy, because maybe Frieza wants to see how to unlock that form that Goku had for himself. And that he could realize how he could probably even best the gods. Because if you notice, soon as Goku unlocked that, it showed a scene of Frieza looking at all the gods, and they mentioned, Ultra Instinct, which proves that Frieza might be very interested in the form to learn it for he could fight gods of destruction. So, like I said, he's going to give Goku his energy. That's what's going to happen. So anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts about the episode if you enjoyed it, if you hated it. Be honest in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you don't like my video, obviously leave a dislike as well. I won't force you to, just leave a like. Now, if you like my content, please subscribe. It truly, helps me out. And also, if you want to support me for I can focus on YouTube and not have to focus on other things, please go in the description and support me on Patreon. It does truly help me out a lot, and I would appreciate it. So you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.